Hello, my name is Dr. Jeff Golini, and welcome to another episode of Ask the Scientist. This show is about busting myths, bringing you the truth. Talking about myths, probably one of the larger ones out there, especially when it comes to mainstream media, newspaper, TV, is that red meat is bad for you. We have heard that it causes heart disease, cancer, but you know what? There is no scientific evidence that actually can substantiate that. Most of the studies out there are inconclusive, and the studies that they usually quote are more of what they call environmental or behavioral studies, where they are actually looking at people's history, looking at what people do. They aren't really doing any testing, and the problem is typically people who don't eat red meat eat a little healthier lifestyle. So they're not eating refined sugars, they're not eating Mickey D's, they're not eating processed foods. Personally, that's where all the issues come from. There is no documented evidence that says red meat correlates 100% to all of these ailments. We are now finding that the fats that you find in red meat are really not the main cause for increasing your triglycerides or your bad cholesterol. We are now finding it's the sugar that people eat. So take a look at what red meat actually does. It's high in protein. As long as you don't overcook it, heat it fast, and start to convert a lot of that protein, that creatine in that protein to creatinine, you're doing pretty good. High in B12, important for DNA production, rich in minerals, iron, all the things that you need for healthy body functions. Very filling. And again, you get some fats, but some of that fat is good for you, especially if you're on a very low-fat diet. It's good to get in some red meat. Now, moderations are the key to anything. I don't care if you only eat chicken. If you eat too much chicken, it's probably going to do something to you. The same way if you eat too much beef. Now, what is too much? That is an independent thing. I know how much red meat I can eat. I know how much chicken I can eat. I know how many carbs. I know how much fat. So you have to determine what is an adequate amount for you. One rule of thumb is don't overeat at a meal. I was out at a restaurant the other night and they were offering a 4-pound ribeye steak. That's one heck of a lot of red meat all at one time. I don't know if that was for 2 or 3 people to share. In my younger days, could I eat that much? Yeah. Was it good for me? No. So again, you don't want to eat pounds of red meat at a sitting. I suggest smaller portions. If you eat it more than once a day, that's fine. But maybe not eat red meat every day, 3 times a day. Break it up a little bit. And then look for leaner cuts, and don't eat the fat. I know it tastes good, but that is where you're going to go overboard, where I see a lot of people actually, chomping down on the fat and getting rid of the meat. I'm sorry, I'm not a big fat person. So in conclusion, red meat actually is very beneficial to you. Good lean cuts of steak, like sirloin, is probably your best. Your round steaks and things are a little tougher, but I turn that into hamburger, so I make a nice hamburger that's very, very lean. Be a little aware of, like rib steaks and T-bone steaks and things where you do have a little bit more fat, but again, once in a while is not going to hurt you. You're going to find from a training standpoint, you're going to have more energy, you're going to feel good, and you're really going to be able to grow because it is action-packed with protein. So anyhow, that is my spiel on why I think red meat is good for you. All right, take care, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.